In this video, I will show you how to calculate the average of the largest n values in Excel like this. So let's get started. In this Excel sheet, I have some marks in this column. Now I want to calculate the average of the top n or largest n numbers. For example, the average of the largest two numbers 50 and 40 will be 45, and the average of the largest three numbers 50, 40 and 33 will be 41. To average the top n numbers, I will use the Excel large function. The large function returns the nth largest number from the specified cell range or an array. This function accepts two arguments, a cell range or an array, and the position in the array or cell range to return. For example, we can use this large formula to get the largest number in the given cell range and this large formula to get the second largest number from the cell range. We can also specify an array as the second argument of the large function instead of an individual position. In that case, the large function returns an array containing the corresponding values. For example, to get the first three largest values of the range, we can specify an array containing 1, 2 and 3 as the second argument of the large function like this. This large formula returns an array containing the top 3 values. To get the average of the largest n values, I will use the large function as an argument of the average function. Let's type an equal sign in the target cell to start the formula. Now type average followed by an opening bracket and then type large followed by an opening bracket. Select the range of the cells containing numbers as the first argument of the large function. Since we want to find the average of the two largest numbers, I will specify an array containing 1 and 2 elements as the second argument. Type the closing brackets of the large and average functions. Hit the enter key to complete the formula. As you can see, we now have the average of the two largest numbers. To get the average of top 3 numbers, the only change I will make is to provide an array containing 1, 2 and 3 as the second argument of the large function like this. This approach is feasible only when we want to average a few largest numbers. For example, to get the average of the top 100 numbers, we need to create an array containing 1 to 100 numbers, and that is not feasible. In such cases, we can use the Excel sequence function. The sequence function generates a list of sequential numbers in an array. To generate a list of numbers 1 to 5 in an array, we can specify 5 as the argument of the sequence function. We can use this function along with the large and average functions to average the top n values. For example, this formula will return the average of the largest 5 numbers of the cell range. The problem is that the sequence function is only available in Office 365 and Excel 2021 versions or later. So if you are using an older version of Excel, you cannot use this function. However, there is an alternative to the sequence function for the older version of Excel. We can use the Excel indirect function along with the raw function to create a sequence of numbers in an array. Here is the formula to generate an array containing 1 to 5 numbers as elements. Here, the indirect function converts text 1 to 5 as the range reference, and then the raw function returns the raw numbers for that range in the form of an array. To get the average of the top n numbers, I will use this formula as an argument of the large function. As you can see, the formula now returns the largest n numbers from the range. Since we already have the largest n numbers, I will simply pass this as an argument of the average function to get the average of the numbers like this. Since this is an array formula, we need to enter this formula by pressing the Ctrl, Shift and Enter keys. As you can see, we now have the average of the largest n numbers. This formula is dynamic as we have referred the n value from a cell, which means if we change the n value, we will get the updated average automatically without changing the formula like this. Watch these videos for more Excel tips, tricks and how-to tutorials. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.